Welcome to the Discover Montcalm podcast, where we're going to take a look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County. Here is your podcast host, Dwayne Weed.
Hello, my name's Dwayne, and I'm the host and the producer of the Discover Montcalm podcast. And in episode 35, I get to do what I love, and that's music. I stopped in at the Pizza Cafe in downtown Howard City. For many years, they have been doing an open mic night on Thursdays. Mark Swanson, who is a musician and luthier, hosts these open mics. And matter of fact, the guitars that he plays are ones that he's made, which is kind of an interesting side bit. But it brings in people from all over and all skill levels, which is pretty cool. You know, the people that play an instrument in their living room can now get a chance to go out and play in front of a crowd. And one thing that I've noticed is whether they're an old pro or it's their first time up, everybody is there to support everybody else. Jean, who owns the Pizza Cafe, it's wonderful, you know, that she has this and it continues on today. She recently bought it not too long ago, and so I'm glad to see that she's keeping that tradition open. Let's take a look at the Pizza Cafe open mic night, and let's talk to Mark and a few others who were there that night about the importance of music and how the Howard City music scene is growing.
When I first started coming up to Howard City, I guess my friend Tom Kroperneck, opened up the music store down here on Main Street, 210 Music Row, and he told me about, you know, the town is waking up and getting more interested in music all the time, and you should come up here, Mark, and we'll get going, we'll have an open mic and see what we can do. And since I was around anyway, I thought that'd be a pretty good idea, so I started coming up every week, and I hooked up with Bernie, then the owner of the Pizza Cafe, where they were having music once in a while, and we started up an open mic there. And people started regularly attending, and God, I've been doing it probably almost 4 years now. I can't believe it. We take little breaks here and there, but for most of the time, we've been doing that every Thursday night, and it's built up into a nice little community up here.
But he is weak, he is cruel, and he is gentle, he is wise, and he is
A couple summers ago, we had the big idea of moving the open mic out into the street, and the city here, Howard City, has worked with us on that, and they are really helpful, and they like the idea of that. They closed the street off in front of the pizza place, and people bring lawn chairs and set them up, and there's a nice little courtyard for us to play. So we had music every Thursday night right out here in the beautiful atmosphere of these old buildings, and that's gotten really popular all summer now.
Well, how about my stage name?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'm Jersey Pete, and that's Java Joe, and we are a duo out of Grand Rapids.
And what brings you up to Howard City? Why do you come up here to play to the crowds?
Well, Mark, who is running the open mic, has been a friend of mine since 1997, and I started out to support him. And then as time went on, this place is just really cool. The owners are really cool. The food is really good. The people who come to play are really cool. It's just a fun atmosphere.
I concur. Yeah, what he said. My name is Java Joe, and I come from Grand Rapids out here for the entertainment. Cheap entertainment value. You can have a good dinner and have entertainment for a few hours. I mean, this day and age, that's a true value.
A fellow drummer, Kevin Schell from Howard City area, talks about how he started getting involved with Mark and the Pizza Cafe and providing the drumming for these acts that come in for open mic night.
The music scene in Howard City is doing very well. I started doing this after I retired. I was looking for a place just to enjoy some music, and Swanson was doing an open mic here at the Pizza Cafe, and I just kind of fell into it with him. He used to have a little djembe or whatever, and I used to play that with him and stuff, and then I went out and bought a cajon and started playing with that, and all of a sudden, bam, we're a band.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared with the stars above.
I was chatting with Deb Becker Fountain, who is part of the Parks and Recreation, and she is part of the organization and other groups that help bring music into the area. And I asked her about the music scene in Howard City. Here's what she had to say.
The variety and the fact that we have a lot of younger people that are coming up in the music industry in the area, but just the variety and trying to involve more people in music in general.
Can you tell me a little bit about the draw of the musicianship? And I guess here talk about the local musicians, but also that this event also draws people from farther away.
It does. It's become a place for folks to come and play. We have a nice sound system. It sounds great here. We give people of all musical levels a chance. We could let people who haven't done it very long get their turn, and old pros come up too, and we all share and get to touch base with each other and play with each other, and there's no judgment. We get up and do our best, and everybody has a great time.
The crowds come from all over, actually. We have people that come from Grant, we have people that come from Grand Rapids, Muskegon, places from up north that come down, from Greenville, probably within a 50-mile radius of here, all in all directions.
Dennis Buttermore sent me a message the day after I interviewed him, and I'd ask him a question, which you're going to see here in just a second. And one of the things that he mentioned was ego. One of the reasons people do these is ego. I think he was just kind of being fun, but he came back and he said that it's more important than that. It's about having fun. Let's listen to what Dennis has to say.
I guess we're all a bit of a ham. That's you want to get your face and your music out there, and Mark puts on a good program, and the Pizza Cafe is a good place to come and eat and spend a night. And otherwise, you sit at home doing nothing all the time. So.
I don't think Gary Fountain's going to like the fact that I refer to him as an old-timer in the music scene here in Howard City. But I asked him about it, and he shared going back to the early 2000s. And I thought that was important to include in this podcast. So let's hear it from Gary.
I hadn't been around music for probably 20 years. I got really busy. But anyway, I got to know Clint Gitchell down here to the church. And when he first opened that up to a music hall, I spent a lot of time in there with Clint. So that was rewarding to me because I had a stressful job and I could go in there and get rid of the stress. So I got where I went there a lot. And as that grew, Clint brought more and more music to Howard City. We used to, and later on, as that went on, and Clint had sold the business to Teeth and Cary Granis, for like 9 years we put an Opry show on there that brought, well, we used to sell it out. It would sell about 200 people per show, and we did a couple shows a night. And from that, it went into having music festivals here and having open mics like we do here in the Pizza Parlor. But it's kept the music scene here in Howard City, and we're working rigorously to try to keep maintaining it to do that.
In the years that you've been doing it, describe the local musicians as far, and then how far out some of these people have come to actually come up and perform.
Yeah, sure. There's all skill levels, like I said, and there's a lot of people around here in Howard City who play in their living rooms and backyards and never get a chance to play in front of a larger crowd or in front of other people, but there's a lot of them, and they all come out here, and now I've met so many, nice folks, and there are a lot of locals, and there are people who come up from surrounding towns too. There's people that come from Rockford and Grand Rapids, and they come up here just for the evening and the good time, and it's really great.
Music is definitely therapy.
It is. And when you're having a bad day, just grab your guitar.
Or your drumsticks.
Or your drumsticks.
Or your drumsticks.
There you go.
Either one, you end up afterwards going, life isn't too bad.
No, and especially when you can make music with friends of yours, people you enjoy being around.
Well, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening to this episode on the open mic night at the Pizza Cafe in Howard City. I would like to put out a personal invite to anybody that's listening or watching us on YouTube. I'm looking for local historians. I'm looking for city and village managers. I'm looking for business people, industry people, organizational people, people in healthcare, education, people that are helping serve this area in helping others, or a community member that just goes above and beyond in your mind what they do for this community. I want to interview them and get them on this podcast. So reach out to me at 231-250-9624. Call me direct at 231-250-9624. Don't forget, you can catch us on Google Podcasts and iTunes, Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube channel at Discover Montcalm Podcast. You can also check us out on discovermontcalmpodcast.com, where you can check out all the other episodes that are there. Remember to buy and shop locally.
West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions, your IT and web hosting experts. westmichiganhelpdesk.com. And DW Video, your source for video production, websites, and your local videotape, slides, and 8mm film transfer specialist. DWVideo.com. Connect and subscribe to Discover Montcalm Podcast at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Discover Montcalm Podcast. To be featured in an upcoming show, contact Dwayne at 231-250-9624. Remember to subscribe at discovermontcalmpodcast.com.